Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to this latest episode of Depression Help. Hope you're all doing okay or good, or even better than good. So I'm sorry I sound a bit rough, just it's not that early in the morning, but always feel and sound rough in the morning, so there we go. So what I wanted to talk about in this episode is just a little technique that I came up with. As I've said before, there's nothing new under the sun. I don't need credit for anything or anyone's approval or anything like that. So you might have, I'm sure I'm not the first person to have thought of this, so you might have heard it somewhere else, but I haven't. It's just something that I thought up that I found helpful. It's a very simple technique, and it's helped me to do things when I'm struggling to do anything. So one of the things I mentioned, when you're really struggling to do anything, and when I was coming back from really when I couldn't do anything to to kind of get into highly productive again. One of the things I mentioned was just keeping a note of what you've done, maybe just opening up a notepad on your phone, and just keeping a note of what you've done, so like a done list rather than a to-do list. I'll talk about that more in another episode, but so apart from that, something that I've found helpful is when you feel as though it's really difficult to do simple things, and people that don't struggle with depression won't understand this because they just automatically do things that if you're depressed or really depressed, then doing everything's really difficult. So they won't really understand this. But I know that if you struggle with depression, then you will. So when you're really low, doing something really simple feels like climbing a mountain, and trying to motivate yourself to get out of bed to do something really simple. And as I said before, I mean, when you're really bad, I mean, that can even be like taking a shower, or looking after yourself, making something to eat, so it's but even when you're kind of doing a bit better, there's still things that you might find it difficult to motivate yourself to do. So basically, one of the techniques that I came up with is there's something that you want to do, but it feels like doing it would be like climbing Mount Everest. And what I do in that situation, so it could be something like washing the dishes or filling the dishwasher or whatever. So that could be something that feels like, like a massive effort, something really difficult. So when you're in a better frame of mind, or in a better place, time how long it takes for you to do things that you struggle to do when you're down. Like literally time it. Because what you'll probably find is that it takes a few minutes to brush your teeth. It takes probably a minute or something to wash your face. It probably takes a few minutes to fill the dishwasher. Do you see where I'm going with this? Little things that you really struggle to do, a lot of the time, your brain might be telling you that you're asking yourself to do something that's going to take hours and be really difficult, and you might feel like that. But just having that perspective, I mean, a lot of things with depression are down to trying to maintain perspective, and maintaining perspective can help to stop you end up feeling like rubbish. Unfortunately, when you're low, your brain, obviously your brain's kind of in a negative state, and it's difficult to, I've talked about it before as being like a car in limp home mode. It's difficult to have perspective, but without perspective, everything feels a lot worse. Everything that happens seems a lot worse. Little things make you feel really bad. I know I don't need to tell you. So one really simple thing that I found helpful is thinking about how long it actually takes to do the thing that you don't want to do. So how long is it actually going to take you to brush your teeth? How long is it actually going to take you to get washed? How long is it going to take you to get dressed? And just one of these things, how long, it could be anything. How long does it, something that you don't like doing or something that you find difficult to do, how long does it actually take to do it? Because I think in most cases, it's probably something that's going to take a really little bit of time, a really short amount of time. And if you think about how long it actually takes, it kind of helps you regain perspective, and it makes it easier to do that thing. So that's something, it's just a short tip. That's something that I've found really helpful. And I mean, when I'm feeling, really lazy or really low, and people who suffer from depression can be lazy as well. We'll talk about that in another episode. But people who suffer from depression are probably often perceived as being lazy when they're actually just really low. So, but it is possible to be lazy when you're depressed. So we'll talk about that in another episode. But yeah, so I mean, if I'm feeling really lazy, it could be something like, for me, how long does it take to make a smoothie to eat? I mean, I eat a lot of smoothies because it's a way of eating healthy. I have a kind of measured diet with measured everything, which I've developed for myself. And when I'm doing more PTing, or when I'm doing PTing, I'll be doing things like that for other people as well. But so yeah, that's like a quick and easy way of getting good nutrition. Doesn't take long to make it, doesn't take long to eat it. So if you're busy, on the go, or if even just making something to eat is difficult in that moment or that day or whatever, then I find that a good way of, it takes literally a few minutes to chuck in the ingredients for a smoothie, blend it up, and then drink it. So yeah, that, just think about how long the thing that you don't want to do actually is going to take, and you kind of make yourself, I wouldn't say you make yourself feel stupid, but it just kind of snaps you into perspective. It just seems to be like a little trigger that it just helps to snap you back into perspective, I think. So that's worked really well for me, and I hope that it's something that will be helpful for you too. Again, thanks to people who have who've given me feedback to say that these videos are helpful. I'm looking forward to being able to put up a poll so I can get some feedback on what things might be helpful to talk about. But in the meantime, I've got a notepad on my phone, and every time I think of something that would be good to talk about, or I think would be good to talk about, I make a note of it, and then when I'm in my half asleep state, brain not really fully engaged, I can just look at the list, and then I'm like, okay, that's what I can talk about. So I will actually have to watch through these episodes again and make a note of all the things that I said I'll talk about in another episode. So, but anyway, I'll not waffle on. I hope that you're doing okay, or better, good. If you're not doing okay, then hang in there. You never know what's around the corner. Been there many times, and I could have given up, and I'm glad I didn't. So, and if you are struggling with your mental health in any way, then do speak to somebody. Speak to your GP, speak to NHS24, speak to somebody. People can't help you if you don't let them, and it might be difficult. It might feel like a huge step to do that, but it's definitely a step that's worth taking, because regardless of how you might feel or how effective you think other people's help might be, or whether you think that nobody can help you, or you think that whatever, just reach out. And if you're not getting the help that you need, then look for it elsewhere. Even if it means going private, it's definitely money worth spent. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next episode. And I should say I look really rough, but I'm actually totally fine today. I'm just tired. So I'm going to get up shortly and go to the gym, and then I've got a couple of gigs today, so yeah, I'm totally fine. Just I'm seeing that I look quite rough, so just in case you think I'm, not doing well or something like that, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, just tired, late nights, training hard in the gym, trying to get into the unit to do work on cars, things like that. So yeah, it's definitely better to be doing most of your work during the day than working till late at night, but that's the direction that I've kind of chosen to go in, because it was an option available to me that meant that I could create an income quite quickly, which is what I needed to do, and it is an enjoyable way of making a living. But yeah, maybe I'll start focusing at some point more on day things rather than night things. We'll see. But anyway, not gonna waffle. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.